Hi, I'm Martin from Sweet Pea. We're going to talk today about our favourite feet, well, particularly my favourite feet. So, doesn't matter what brand machine you have, there's always a range of feet which actually appeal to you or that you find to be great utilities while you are stitching. Now, I'm not really one for sticking to one brand of foot to go with a machine. If another brand of foot fits and works, then I'll change it over. For instance, here we have this foot here is our patchwork sole, which is one of my favourites, but that's a Juki foot, so it's a Juki patchwork foot. And what that does is it allows you a little bit more vision to see inside the foot with that cutout, was where the needle goes, and it gives you some options of different widths, so 1/8, 1/4 inch, and well, probably almost a centimetre or 3/8 of an inch towards the side of the foot. So it's got a variety of handy widths on it, both left and right. And the other thing I like about it, so if we put it onto some fabric, you'll be able to see that with what we see in the sewing machine, we can actually see that the window, the cutout window where the needle goes, is quite visible for us to be able to stay on the seam or stay beside the seam. So that's one of my favourites. It's also totally flat on the bottom, so it has true contact with the feed dogs. So the machine foot that comes with the machine, the utility foot, is similar. It has a slight cutout to allow reverse feed, like zigzags, etc. You can see these are well used because we do well use our machines. This one is called the J foot, which is a brother foot. I quite like it because it's got a very long nose in the front, and it's got a nice clear window in the front as well, so you can see where you're going. So it's a very, very handy foot. We probably use it a lot of the time. When I'm sewing bags, though, I probably use the J foot more so because I'm trying to look at different forms of accuracy. And it's very, very nice for putting blocks together because it sits just inside the seam where you want to be stitching. When it comes to zip feet, every machine has its own zip foot. So this is a zip foot that generally comes with a machine. It's a left and right zip foot, so it's plopped on and the needle sits either left or right, and the needle can come out from those two little places there. But I like this machine, this foot here. It's adjustable, so it's got a screw on the back, and it means it can adjust. An adjustable zip foot is great for doing piping, and it's also great for doing around the edge of thick seams because you can actually put the foot with a true contact on the feed dogs. Now, if you come over to the machine, so I'm just going to I'll just pop it on. So the one thing about an adjustable zip foot is that it has to be put on with a screwdriver. So that's possibly a drawback for some people. It's not for me because I look at accuracy as far as what the machine is going to do. So you can see that the needle is going to go just outside the hole here, so it means you can get quite close to some stitching or piping. The other thing is that the flat piece of this foot is sitting exactly. Let me put that up a little bit more. It's sitting on top of a true line of feed dog, so you're going to get true feed with your machine. If it was in the middle, it only has the feed at the back, so that sometimes it inhibits the way your foot works when you're doing, well, not intricate areas, but areas that you want the project to be moving under the foot. So that's why I like to have an adjustable one. It also means that I can actually put it to wherever I want it to be, and the needle is quite free, but the fabric is held. So the last thing that we probably use the most of is actually a walking foot. Now, some machines today come with a walking foot built in, and that's great. That is built in, but a walking foot is, the job of it is to actually walk across your fabric because it's got some teeth on the bottom that works in unison with the teeth on the machine. So it feeds the fabric through very, very evenly, so we can actually then stitch our seams. You can see that this here is totally flat, and the walking foot has stitched inside the edge here, but there's no puckers. And so a normal foot would be puckers because you've got batting, a backing, and your top fabric, but the walking foot allows you to do this trouble-free. There are built-in walking feet on some top-of-the-line machines. Otherwise, you have an accessory like this. They come in all sorts of sizes and shapes. The only two differences of walking feet is, I'll just borrow this off another one, is that you sometimes have two versions of the sole. So you can see that this sole is this one here, which is called the closed toe, and then you have this one here, which is called the open toe. And what that does is allows you to see where you're about to stitch. And that's very, very important if you are stitching in the ditch, especially when you start a quilt, or for us when we're putting our back on to our table runners or wall hangers. It's important to be able to see where you are stitching. So our favourites are our walking foot, our patchwork sole, our generic utility foot, and of course, let me just grab that off for a second. So this one here is our lovely zip foot, which has got the slidey on the back. The orange represents low shank, and if you have a green one of these, that's a high shank, because some machines are different. So this is put out by Dream Stitch, and this is the one that I've been testing them, and this is the one that I feel that has replaced my old faithful Elna from 50 years ago. This one here does exactly the same job, if not better.